Hey, here we are, Friday. Woohoo! End of the week. Topic for today is not eating hair. Topic for today is, what is it that you really want to do? Hi, Roy. Now, in life, there's a lot goes on. We get asked as you're a little kid, what do you want to be when you grow up? You get asked when you're a teenager, what do you want to be when you grow up? The question itself is really quite limited because, one, you have no idea of half the things there are on the planet that can be done, that you could do. Instead, imagine if you were asked, what makes your tummy feel really happy? Imagine if you're a little kid, you're 5. What makes your tummy really happy when you think about it? Something that you're doing in life that makes you feel really good. Some kids would answer, like little boys, kicking a football. Now, as crazy as that is, there's plenty of people on the planet that make a really good living doing this as their passion, kicking a football. So my question is, now look, a long time ago, now I had a nail salon as well, long time ago. So I got to sit with people face to face, women, and hear lots of personal things. However, I had one friend who used to bring all the motivational speakers to Australia, like Louise Hay, Zig Ziglar, all of them. Her company, her and her husband, used to bring them all out and they'd tour around Australia. So she was very wise and obviously knew which questions to ask Cheryl to get the right answers. Anyway, one day she asked me, what is it that you really want to do? What is it that lights your fire? What is it that makes your soul sing? You know, I mean, we all know what words we want to put to it, what really rocks your boat. Now, me, I was just like ready to start spilling things out. Oh, I want to be rich. Oh, I want to be famous. Or, I mean, I was 25 at the time, right? So yes, the answers were a little different to what they would be today. But as I started to say, one started to come out and I thought, well, that doesn't seem right, because it didn't. The more I thought about it, the things I was reciting in my head that weren't even coming out my mouth at this point were actually secondary things that would come from when you were doing what it was that you loved. Hi, Annabelle Newman, how are you? So I realized it wasn't a very easy question to answer. You know, what is it that you really want to do? Now, I learned in that one appointment that I really had no idea. I was so tucked into this little box. I'd, gone to school and I'd gone through the schooling system, which is really like, I'd listened to media, television, movies, magazines, radio, you name it. So I had ideas about what the world thought was valid and worthy of any human's time, which I've since realised is just a whole big commercial, merry-go-round. Get on, get up, go to work, come home, do the same thing, sleep, get up, right, we know it. I realised it was really difficult for me to answer that question, and I couldn't answer it that day. I couldn't answer it the next day, but it did take me down some roads of thought that I would never have gone down before had I not had that question, that very question posed to me, where I had to try to answer it. I didn't want to, be off flippant and go, oh, well, I want to be, some stereotypical whatever answer. Now, like I said in my thing, wherever it is, it took me 4 to 6 months to really be able to hone down on what I thought it was that I really wanted to do, what I really wanted to do, not what society thought or my family thought or friends or whoever. Now, at the time, I had a young son, a very busy business with staff that required a lot of headspace. So I didn't really think about it all the time, I've got to say. But in this path of asking for, myself, what is it that I really want to do? like I said, one, I learned a ton about myself, right? You can't help but learn, because you say, I want to do, and you realize, well, no, that's not it. Tick, goodbye, and that's out. So you actually start to hone down a lot of your ideas, and you realize they weren't your ideas to start off with. They were inbuilt. I mean, we all have this thing as humans. We want to belong. We want to be accepted. We want to be valued. So we tend to run with the herd. We go with the mass inclination, let's say, or mass ideas, which we all know change from week to week. What happened was I realized that I wasn't really thinking for myself at all. Hi, Sharon. Now, the question, I've asked this question of countless people in my life, young people as well as older people. I get the same look. They want to start to answer it. Oh, I want to be, and mind you, some do know. I'm not saying nobody knows what they want to do. All right, this is, my videos are generalized. It's just topics that I talk about. So it's not every single person is, you know, whatever categorized like in my talk. Is not many people know how to answer it. It's this really funny question, yet every single day, what do? We get up in, most people are happy when they get up, but it's this, we're heading towards something. We think we're heading towards something, right? Happiness, something that will fulfill us, that we'll use our skills, our creativity, our gifts, our magic. When in truth, most of us just plod along in a semi-robotic, hop up, make a cup of tea, get ready, clean your teeth, put your makeup on, brush your hair, whatever. And we go through the same thing. We just cycle over and over and over and over. And bit by bit, we move further and further and further and further away in our thoughts to what it is that we really super connect with. What is our heart's desire? Somehow that, our heart's desire, gets lost in this journey of trying to, be good at work, be a good mum, be a good dad, be a good wife, be a good husband, be a good, insert word here. Yet, in all truth, if you really want to be the best you and the best mum or the best dad or the best wife or insert word here, if you can find what it is you really love and what you really want to do, bang, your vibration goes up. And the one thing this planet needs right now to topple any of whatever is bad and have more of what's good, very much simplifying that, is for each one of us to vibrate on a much higher level, which means, one, when you're vibrating there, you're happy. You don't need anything from anyone. You're not angry at anybody for anything. In fact, you become quite self-sufficient and you become very, very happy. So my question for Friday is, ask yourself, what is it that I really, really want to do? And you're going to keep going through things until eventually you'll know when you get it, because bang, you get this wonderful feeling. It's like a xylophone of emotions. It's like bling. It's a bit like in a movie, just before the angels sing, ling. So it takes some delving, it takes some digging, and it's definitely going to fly in the face of, one, what you've been, what maybe family, friends, or whatever has dictated that you should be. It's going to fly in the face of that. It's going to fly in the face of what you maybe thought you liked because you were doing it because it made somebody else happy or it fulfilled somebody else's dream. Women are very susceptible to this because we're very adaptable. That's how we are, because we're creators. We create life. I mean, we're here to take care of life. So we have to adapt. All right? I'm not saying men don't. Women do it. It's how our brains work. Our brains are different to men's. So in this, what will happen is you will go in and out, up and down, round and round, but you're going to find it. You'll find it. And then what you'll do is then you write that down. Like for me, when I realized I was actually already partially doing it anyway, I love helping people get to where they need to be so they don't need help anymore. It took a while to work it out because I thought, oh, I just like helping people. Well, duh. Lots of people like helping people. Lots of people like helping people. So it was a bit generic, a bit loose in its description. But when I realized what it was, my strength is all about independence. I love to see people when they can just find their own independence, find who they are, realize that they don't need anything from anybody else. They never did. You need to stand up for yourself. That's who you need. So for me, I love doing this. I don't want to hold someone's hand forever. They don't need that. And if they need that, then they don't need me, right? That's fine. That's who they are. So for me, once I realized that, then it became very clear to see whenever opportunities came that I could steer that way, that I could be that, which to the people that know me now, they know where I've ended up in my life. I mean, it's been a constant learning, accumulating of knowledge, of stripping away the BS, the crap, the preconceived ideas, the ridiculous beliefs, or the lack of great beliefs that I had, to get to the point where, I digressed then and I forgot where I was going. That happens on big chats like this because there's no, talk about this, talk about this, talk about this. It's not like a recipe where you can go, okay, put in the dry ingredients, put in the wet ingredients, mix it up and put it in the oven. These kinds of conversations are very convoluted, but I know that you're following what I'm saying. So once I found what it is I love doing, then the path became so much easier because I knew what it was I didn't want to do as well. Like I did other things. And in the end, it was like I was a nail lady. I was very, very good at it. Very, very popular. Very, very busy. But in the end, it wasn't the nails that I loved, even though I did love doing it and it was fantastic. It was helping people because I would spend a lot of one-on-one time talking and pouring my heart. They'd pour their heart. So now I'm led to where I am now, a women's transformologist. I work specifically with women to get to the point where they can jump beyond emotional dramas, traumas, PTSD, all of the stuff that goes and it just stops you dead in your tracks, the stuff that just holds you up from your life, that nearly makes you feel like it's going, we all know it. We all know it. Every single person on the planet's had this. And if they say they haven't, they are lying through their teeth. So what I do now is a method called Creatrix, it was designed by a woman here in Australia who's very, very clever, Maz Shermer. I've gone and learnt this process, and I'm paraphrasing now, bringing it down. So I am, at this point in my life, at the pinnacle, right here, of doing what it is I love, what I really want to do. So I could only just stress how important it is to ask this question, keep asking. And actually, you might find something that you really love doing when you're 20 or 30 or 40. But then in 5 years' time or even 5 minutes' time, you might or could evolve beyond that to wanting to do something else. It's like when you're a little kid, you want to be, I don't know, a fireman, a hairdresser, an astronaut, whatever. As your understanding of the world and yourself changes and grows, then your understanding of yourself grows also. So once you're in this mode of asking this question and you become more comfortable with letting thoughts come forward and go, it's not that, and get rid of it, instead of having to hang on to it because it's what my mother wanted me to do, or my father, or my grandmother, or my auntie, or my teacher at school said I'd be really good at physics, so I should do this when I really would prefer to be an artist. Your thing that you want to do, it could be to make cakes, it could be to water plants, who knows? There's a place for your passion, there is a place for your creativity, and there is a place for you doing your exact thing that you love. There's a place for that on this planet, doing that and making a very good income at it. Here's the thing though, I say income because we're all pretty much, hi David, we're all pretty much geared towards finances because there's not many people on the planet that don't have money at some point entering in their life, or barter or swapping, other than maybe some tribes that live in the Amazon in the deep. But I'm sure there's a reciprocal thing goes on there as well. However, in our world, it's money. And sadly, it's just what it is. But you imagine if you were super duper happy and every single day you just did what you loved. You know that old saying, what is it? You never work a day in your life. No, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Now, wouldn't that be the ultimate to aim for? Where you just hop up and there's no, oh God, it's only an hour and I've got to go to work, and I've got to sit in the traffic, or I've got to get on the train, or you know, it's not a very great way to start your day on an energy level, is it? But you imagine if you got out of bed and you sprung out and you're like, you nearly forget to have your cup of tea or your coffee or your whatever, because you can't wait to get to what it is you want to do because you love it. So what happens, here's the really cool thing. I'm going to give you two people that are a really great example of, once you find what it is you love and you do it, the money and the abundance and every other good thing chases you, right? Here's two. Bill Gates, Sir Richard Branson. Now, they're just two that I grab quickly because they're really, most people have heard of them, right? All they did was just did what they loved, and they just kept doing it, because it wasn't a case that they didn't need someone to agree with them or to tell them, yeah, good on you, that's what you should do. They just loved it. It rocked their boat. Off they went. Now, what happened? They're both incredibly wealthy, happy. Well, I don't know. They might not be happy. I can't say they're happy. But I'm assuming if that amount of success and money and choice doesn't make you happy, then maybe they need to ask that question, the same question they need to ask themselves, because they could have changed. However, so once you find what it is you love, you don't even need to tell anyone you're doing this, because sometimes we get a bit embarrassed. We don't really want to share our dreams with people because we've all experienced dream stealers or people that want to rain on your parade. All right. So I can understand, you know, you hold it close to your heart and you don't necessarily share with anybody, everybody, whoever. But you imagine you get to that, you find that, and you just start doing that every day, and life just becomes so simple. How great would that be? Because that's pretty much where I'm at in my life. I mean, I have my ups and downs, don't get me wrong. Man, I have bad days, good days. But really, on a scale of 1 to 10, I mean, I used to have like anger at a 10, disappointment at a 10, betrayal at a 10. I mean, all of it was at a 10 before I did my own creatrix and got in, sorted all this out, my genetic cup, and got rid of all of this crap. So I might have a problem and it might register as a 3 or a 4, but it's gone in a little while. It just simply takes action to get beyond it. But in truth, every day I live my dream and I'm really happy. So I can't see why you shouldn't be happy as well. So there you go. For Friday. Take the question. You know, I've written some comments there myself. You know, it's very spontaneous. Like I've said before, I never know what I'm filming each day. The Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I zone in and I work it out on the day. So everything that I type is very fresh. It's straight off. It's probably only 10 minutes before I go to air. Yeah, I type it all up, and so it's you know, here. So that's it, I think, for today. Just be happy, live life, find out what it is you love, and if you can't tell it your friends or your family, that's okay. You can come and tell me. Send me an instant message. I mean, it's all cool. I don't judge. I'm not at all interested in judging anyone. I spent too much of my own life judging myself, and it was just shit. It was just shit. And it ends up bullying anyway. So there you go. That's it. And if you enjoy these videos, share them, would you please? Because I think this is the sort of chat that is constructive. It's not telling you what to do. I'm not at all interested in telling anybody what to do. But it poses questions that I think make your brain work and have outcomes that are productive and beneficial to your life, because you understand yourself better. And one thing on this planet that's going to make your life easier is when you can cut through the crap and you can get to the real you. That's for sure. So anyway, all my live videos I send over to my YouTube channel because they're very hard to find here on Facebook once I've done them. Even I have difficulty finding them. So, and also keep an eye out. Lalaville television is coming very soon. It's just taking me a little longer to get myself together because I'm not a TV producer. I'm not any of that stuff. So hang in there. It's coming. It's going to be really exciting. It is television for women. Men can watch it. That's fine. But it's going to be aimed for women, everyday women doing everyday things. So anyway, thank you again for coming in and viewing today. Have an awesome weekend, 2 days. Woohoo! And if you got to work, oh well, but you get paid. So take care. Have a great weekend. Ask your kids this question, and it might take them a little while to answer, but isn't it great? They've got a really wonderful thing in their head for the rest of time. So thank you, everybody. Take care. Au revoir.